Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a budget with me, and we are setting up the month of August in my budget planner. So the first thing that I'm going to do is flip to my budget planner, and I'm going to add in the month of August. So I already have the month of July in my planner, and usually I would pull out this month and then put in a new month, but I have decided to keep the month of July in here just in case I ever need to flip back. That has been helpful to me with my other planners, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to add in August behind it. And I've already closed out July, so if you didn't see that video, I will link it above and put it in the description box. But now we are going to start the month of August. First thing that I'm going to do is pull it out of my budget planner. I know you guys always ask me how I'm able to just pull the pages out. It's a very simple process. Basically, I just will keep the older pages in my actual planner, and then I flip over to the new month. This is the start of the new month, and then I will just flip over to the end of the month. And this is a full month, and I'll pull all of these pages out and then just add it to my planner. And that is basically it. And my pages in my budget planner are actually numbered. So as you can see, it's 35, 36. So since it automatically goes to 37, I know that I pulled out the right section. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is add in all of my bills on my monthly calendar. I like to use budget dots in order to do that. And basically, I am assigning a different color to every single week so that I can see what bills are associated with what check. I do have a month ahead account, meaning we are a month ahead in our bills. And since we are on variable income, that helps us out a lot on those weeks where we don't make what I believe we should make in order to cover all of the expenses for the week. I end up transferring the money from our month ahead account and then transferring it back whenever we do make additional money throughout the course of the month. And that's my entire process. But I like to use dots in order to indicate what expenses should be paid in which week. Okay, I've added all of my main bills on my calendar, and this is basically just all of the fixed expenses that I have to do. And then I also have added some additional debt payments that I am planning on making. So this is the first step because this kind of lets me know which bills are associated with which weeks. The next thing that I'm going to do is actually fill out my monthly budget sheet, and then that's when I'm going to add in everything from this list and also some additional variable expenses that are not on here. So these are all of my fixed expenses, but things like food and gas and other variable expenses are not on here. So I'm going to create a monthly budget that actually includes everything for the month. Okay, so I ran out of room, so I had to add additional expenses down here. But that's because August is going to be a little bit busy for us. We have a lot of additional expenses that we did not plan on having for the month of August. So I'm going to add all of this up to see what's the total and to see how much I'm going to be moving back and forth between our month head account and our baseline income. Okay, so everything is down, and basically based on all of my expenses here and what we have projected as income, this is basically the minimum amount that me and my husband need to make for the month, and more than likely we're definitely going to hit this goal. So since that's basically a definite, I always use that number, and then whenever we make more, I am able to adjust as the month goes on. So based on our expenses here though, we will still need an additional $1,500 in order to cover every single thing on our budget. If we don't make the additional $1,500 that we need, if our income stays exactly at this amount, what we will do is adjust our extra debt payment or extra credit card payment or the extra car payment. So I like to plan as if we are gonna make it and just know the additional amount that I would need, rather than to not plan it, because when I don't plan it, then usually I just don't pay it or don't put anything toward debt. So I like to plan it out to make it as if we are definitely gonna do it. And then if we just don't hit this income, we can't make the extra money, none of my side hustles work, none of his side hustles work, and we don't make it, then I just adjust. But more than likely, we will definitely make it. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is move over to our weeks, paycheck by paycheck, and I'm basically gonna write out each paycheck to make sure that each week is kind of listed out and planned, and then add them up to make sure that they agree to my monthly budget, to this monthly number that I have down here, this $10,000. So that's what we'll do next. So the first week of expenses is $2,784.21. I'm gonna subtract the amount that is like guaranteed to us, and the balance that's left over is $534.21, which means this is the amount that I will move from our month ahead account so that we are able to pay all of these bills within the first week. So of course, when the week comes, I will adjust. So let's say we actually end up making more. Let's say we ended up making $2,500 instead of $2,250. I will end up putting exactly what we made and then adjusting how much I actually end up pulling over, or if I don't need to pull over anything, I just won't. So the month ahead account is just like basically a buffer for us, just in case we need to pull from it so that we are able to pay all of the bills in the week that they are due. But if we don't have to pull, if we end up making more money because we're on variable income, then I just won't pull it at all. So it's a really great thing to have as a buffer, just to make sure you're never late on your bills. And then if anything happens to your check at all, or you don't make any money for the week, you can actually pay all of your bills because you could just pull all of the money that you need over. And this is basically me doing also a zero-based budget. So that's week 1. Let's move to week 2. So based on the second week, we will also need an additional $296.52. And this is expected because our first 2 weeks of every month are very top heavy for us. We have to pay our own health insurance, we have to pay the mortgage. So those 2 weeks are usually very high in expenses for us. And then it tapers off toward the end of the month. So usually what we'll do is move money from our month ahead account in the first 2 weeks of the month and then put it back in the last 2 weeks of the month. Okay, so that was week 2, and now we're going to week 3. So now with the third week, as you can see, the expenses total up to $1,821.85, but we have an income of $2,250, which is our base income. So we will actually have an additional amount to put back into our month-end account. So now I'm just going to subtract the two to see how much is actually going back in. Okay, so with this check, I've actually added the amount back into the month-end account down here. Now, after this is all over, after I have added up all of the checks, once I am doing my reconciliation, the one thing that I'm going to do is make sure that the amounts that I am taking out is actually less than the amounts that we are putting back in, to make sure that I'm not taking too much money out of the month-end account that we can't replace. And if it is, like let's say this would be too much, then I would just adjust another expense that I have on here, more than likely one of my variable expenses, so that I'm not taking out too much money and I know that I can actually replace it. So what I'm going to do now is actually go back to the front, and on this side I'm going to do my reconciliation to make sure that all of my weeks actually agree to my monthly budget. So my monthly budget amount is $10,000. It's $10,661.33. So now I'm gonna pull over all of the weeks to make sure that they agree. So now I'm gonna add all of the weeks up, and they agree. As you can see, it's $10,661.33, and this one is $10,661.33. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this monthly budget with me, and I will see you in the next one. Until next time, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys.